Hello everybody and welcome back to a brand new episode of the NASCAR Heat 5 Career Mode. I hope you're all having a great day today. We go racing at the Talladega Super Speedway. In just a Cup Series, I simmed through the Xfinity Series race where Zane Smith actually picked up his first career Xfinity Series win in here in his rookie season of the Xfinity Series in the Career Mode. So Smith now locked into the Xfinity Series playoffs, likely at least now, considering there shouldn't be too many new different winners in the series this season. But at the same time, you never know. We actually filled up the playoff grid last season in the Xfinity Series with all different winners. Now, as you see, Riley Herbst down there in the 36th position, unfortunately for Joe Gibbs Racing. But I've been getting some requests to show my game settings. So before we go into this race, I'm going to show everybody the settings that I run here in the career mode. So immediately there you see the career difficulty from the AI is of course on Legend. We got full damage. DNF's enabled. We've been very fortunate to actually not DNF yet in the Cup Series. So eventually it's going to happen, I think, but we haven't had it quite happen yet. I run on 3x of tire wear and feel, and then I have normal for tire wear rate as well as grip fall off, but sometimes I put more grip into the car. It really helps when you don't want to run a custom setup at times. And then here's all the AI driving just kind of changes or settings I have. There's, you see, the starting spread is compressed. Sometimes the stability I mess with is for Talladega. We're going to run it less stable for the stability on the AI high impact forces, as well as draft partners enabled just for plate tracks. So there's all the settings I have now, as we're going to jump in to the Cup Series weekend here at Talladega Super Speedway for the Geico 500. So very excited to get this one underway. Last time we came to this track in Talladega, it was a wild race, and just because I decided to qualify, I knew that we were going to qualify last, but I decided to just hop into qualifying anyways and see what we could do. So we come through now on to our first qualifying lap. I was only going to make one lap because, like I said, I knew exactly where we were going to start for this race. So we go down this backstretch toward turn 3, and now coming through the triangle to cross the line. The goal was the 48.466, while we're way off the goal with the 49.697. So we qualify in the 40th position, unfortunately, there, as you see the rest of the order on our screen. A lot of big names towards the back once again, as that seems to be a common thing at the plate races in this game for some reason. Now, as you see, although on the pole it's going to be our teammate Kyle Busch with Noah Gragson and Chase Briscoe second and third here, as we're going to get ready to go for the Geico 500 at such a prestigious track. We have surprisingly not had a plate victory yet, although we've had some very strong runs at these plate races, most notably second place in the Daytona 500 to start the season, second place at Daytona last season in the playoff cutoff race, or the regular season finale, I should say, and we just continue to run strong at these plate tracks. Hopefully we can back it up here today. As you see, Chase Briscoe is well prepared, as Kyle Busch will start on pole, but David Reagan sent to the very back after failing pre-race inspection, as we get ready to go green here for the Geico 500 at Talladega Super Speedway from the 39th position due to David Reagan being sent to the back of the field now as we get ready to go. And we got Kyle Busch leading us to the green flag, which is now out, and Talladega right in front of us. We got the 96 of a rookie of Harrison Burton now as we get underway. So of course the first stage is really, every time we come to a plate track, just all about getting ourselves into the best position that we can, setting us up for stage 2, because sometimes we kind of get caught up in the pack and struggle to work our way through in stage 1, and we're just playing catch up in that second stage. But hopefully we can work our way as close as to that top 10 as we can here as we come through the center of the corner. We had immediately Noah Gragson, not with a very good launch on the restart, or on the initial start, leading that outside lane, so he fell back quite a bit, stacking up that outside. Now as we go down this backstretch, Chad Fincham, last season's Daytona 500 champion in the career mode, right in front of us there on our outside as we come through turns 3 and 4, right to the back of the 4 of Kevin Harvick. They're already going 4 wide in front of us there. See Kyle Larson in the 43 car all the way up top. Some news about him and in the career mode coming up relatively soon here, as there's quite the big development behind the scenes going on, with some rumors flying around of what could be happening in this career mode for these teams now, or with these drivers switching around. So you're going to have to stay tuned for some news coming relatively soon, because there's a huge silly season announcement coming soon that I want to get out of the way earlier in the season, so we have the rest of the season to just kind of build towards that announcement and get prepared for that, as I'll unleash the designs and everything now, as you guys will see that at a later date. Now as we go down this backstretch, right behind the 37 of Ryan Preece, now on the outside of the 4 of Kevin Harvick here on this second lap, as we go down into 3, actually decide to move up to the top. Of course, we have 3 wins on the season. At this point last season in our career mode, we didn't have a single win, so I was definitely deciding, you know what, we can put it out there and just risk it today here in Talladega. So there you see the 48 of Alex Bowman on the far outside all the way by the wall. I decided to get up here and try and see if we can make something work, and immediately I realized that that was definitely not going to be the case here as we go down toward turn 1. The 37 of Ryan Preece on our inside as he's going to clear us. His position in that car not necessarily safe either in the career mode, as there's going to be a lot of changes coming up within this season, just like last season, or coming into this season now as we came through out of turns 2. Now passing the 48 of Alex Bowman as we're going to slice to the outside there of David Reagan, trying to build up this momentum down the backstretch, getting to the back of Tyler Reddick. And if you remember from last episode, Tyler Reddick dominated stage 2, dominated the third and final stage, and completely blew the win away in the second last restart. So it was very unfortunate for him. He would have been in the playoffs, and now here he is now actually back on the outside looking in now as we go through down this front stretch into the back there of the 36 of Reagan, but we get down in front of our teammate at Truex, but we came through to lap 4, and we were only up to P29 at this point as we now passed Ross Chastain there as we nearly turned the 00 of Quinn Half as he was a draft partner, and I went to make a move to the outside. He followed me up the track and we drove right to the back of him. Thankfully though, that did not turn into an incident here as we come through the center of 1 and 2, now to the back of this 22 of the Penske driver of Joey Logano, as I don't feel like waiting around for him, so I decide, you know what, we're going to go up the middle here between Truex as well as Logano, but the run just completely stalls out down the backstretch that I slide back up in front of Ross Chastain to let him push me down this back straightaway. Now as we came to the lap 6, we had actually fallen now down to 32nd behind the 43 of Kyle Larson, who's kind of stalled a little bit lately here in the career mode. He had a very strong return to the NASCAR, the sport of NASCAR here in the career mode, but now he's kind of in that struggle area of the season as he's hoping to turn it around here in Talladega. We're going to dive though to the inside of Kyle Larson as we come through the tri-oval. There we're going to be 4 wide through the tri-oval. There you see Eric Jones in the 88 on the far outside as we come through to cross the line. Only 8 laps to go now in stage 1, and it was the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek currently leading the way as we continue 3 wide here through the center of 1 and 2. The 17 nearly got into the side of the 37 there as we're going to have some help from Harrison Burton behind in that number 96 car as we go down this back straightaway. A subpar start there for Harrison Burton this season, but you see the smoke up ahead. The caution comes out here in stage 1, and we're going to be forced into our restart now as it looks like immediately it's going to be some split strategy here. Some drivers will pit, some drivers will stay out. We're going to pit here as it looks like a majority of everybody's pitting. I actually still don't know who caused the caution. It was too hard to tell from here where that smoke was coming from, but obviously a tire failure, and fortunately it did not happen in the middle of a corner as that would have created quite the incident now as you would lose 2 spots on the pit lane and drop to P30 as Bubba Wallace loses 19 spots and drops to right behind us in 32nd place now as the green flag is back out here in Talladega. Now it will be just 5 laps to go here in this first and opening stage. Now as we get back underway, Kevin Harvick just in front of us there. You see Daniel Suarez in that number 99 Trackhouse car in that Camaro as we dive down into turn 1. Can confirm right off the bat Daniel Suarez and that 99 Trackhouse car will be the same combination next season in the career mode. We're going to get aggressive there, go 3 wide up the middle between Harvick as well as the 37 of Ryan Preece, and then get up the inside of Almirola as well. Get right to the back of the 99 if possible of Suarez as he tries to open that gap. Now as my momentum completely fades away, Larson's even going to go to the outside of myself as well as we dive down toward turns 3. Logano just behind us a little bit here as you see Ryan Blaney on the very bottom, the 13 of Ty Dillon in a car that very well might not be around next season in the career mode either as we come through out of turns 4. It's now David Reagan leading the way here as we go down this front straightaway. I'm stuck 3 wide in the middle at this point looking for an opportunity to get down to the bottom. The 37 comes up in front of us now as I have an opportunity right there behind Bubba Wallace to get down to that bottom lane here as we come through to cross the line now all the way down in 30 seconds still with 4 laps to go. It's not been the first stage that we were looking for by any means here as we have a huge run. We go to the middle again between Bubba Wallace as well as Kevin Harvick here as we come through the center of the corner. So just kind of like I said, I wasn't just going to lay back here in Talladega when we already have 3 wins on the season, when at this point last season we had 0 in our rookie season. So 3 wins gives us the just freedom to just put it all on the line, go for risks here at Talladega and just see what we can make work, and clearly the risks I were taking were not working at this point here as we came through the center of 3 and 4. So we came through now to lap 12, approaching 2 laps to go in the stage, back in the middle of a 3 wide situation, still down in 29th, but now there was some drivers towards the front of the field that were not going to be able to make it to the end of the stage on field. So that was a bit of a scenario to keep in mind here as we came through, approaching 2 laps to go. Chase Briscoe on my outside there as we get to the outside of Newman. We're 4 wide again there for the second time here in Talladega already in stage 1, but we fortunately are able to get back down in line behind Ryan Newman there as he clears me. Briscoe still to my outside, but we're down right to the bottom here in P27 with, like I said, only 2 laps to go, running out of time very quickly to get up towards the top 10 here in stage 1. Now as we go down this backstretch right on the back of the 51 of Gase, we're going to make it aggressive here up the inside of him, make it 3 wide with Gase, as well as Ryan Newman down into turn 3. Kyle Busch leads away at this point now as we would continue on through to the front straightaway to start the final lap of the stage. We had now cleared Gase for 24th and got right to the back of the 95 of Christopher Bell, who's gotten a win this season in the career mode at Phoenix Raceway, if you remember from a handful of episodes ago here, as we're up the inside right behind the 66 of Timmy Hill. Kyle Busch continues to lead the way, but keep in mind, like I mentioned a few moments ago, there is a few drivers up ahead. They cannot make it on field here. As we go down this backstretch, we're going to have quite a bit of help from the 51 of Gase here as we go down into turn 3 for the final time here in stage 1 up the inside of the 66 of Hill. Kurt Busch actually takes the lead from his brother of Kyle Busch here on the final lap in the stage. We get aggressive going 3 wide in the middle again. There you see Tyler Reddick as well as David Reagan come into the pit lane here on the final lap of the stage. They cannot make it now as we're going to get aggressive briefly 4 wide there for a moment again as we're up between the 77 of Gregson and Burton at the line. 2 rookies as Gregson is able to hold us off there as we somehow climbed to P15 as we were like 27th or something like that, coming to 2 laps to go in stage 1. So definitely a good rebound there to get us in a good position to get going for the second stage now, as everybody's going to come back to the pit lane here for 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 tires, as Kurt Busch picks up a playoff point. Austin Dillon up there in second, and then Kyle Busch there in that 3rd position. Now as you see the rest of the order on your screen, William Byron quite a ways down the order, Kyle Larson with a rough race so far, Keselowski as well, Reddick in 40th of course because he could not make it on field there. As you see, Austin Dillon lost 12 spots on the pit lane, drops to P14 as we maintain 15th place as we get ready to go green for stage 2, which is now underway here in the Geico 500 right behind the rookie of Noah Gragson. Now as we know, Gragson will be in the number 1 car next season, replacing Kurt Busch, who is in his final season of his career in our career mode only now as we dive down into turn 1. So Gragson just making the most of what he can in that 77 car, definitely showing more speed in that 77 car due to the alliance we have in the career mode between that team of Spire as well as Hendrick Motorsports here as we go down this backstretch right on the back of that 77 of Gregson. You see the outside just not get going here as we go down this backstretch. Chase Elliott now leading over 2nd place of the 00 of Quinn Hoffers. We're going to get up the inside of Chris Buescher through 3 and 4. Have some help here from our teammate Martin Truex Jr., who gets right on my back bumper there as he's going to be a draft partner. We pass the stage winner of Kurt Busch right there as we come through down the front stretch, and now Hamlin is in 2nd in line, and he's trying to take the lead from Chase Elliott here as we come through the tri-oval, but Elliott was able to cover him off there, at least through the tri-oval now as we come through to complete this first and opening lap of stage 2, and now Elliott is going to kind of chop Hamlin's nose again and hold on to the lead for a brief amount of time. So we're now up into the 5th position here as we're also going to pass Quinn Half and move up now into 4th place here right behind the 77 of Gregson, who's just marching his way forward along with myself and Denny Hamlin. Elliott gives up the bottom to Denny Hamlin, and this time he's not going to cover Hamlin off, so Hamlin's going to go to the inside and take the lead here down this backstretch into turn 3, and Elliott is just going to fall way behind here as we come through the center of the corner. So we're now going to move up into the 4th position. Then Gregson would actually get to the inside of Hamlin, but of course me being a teammate, I decided to actually back up the throttle and let my teammate of Hamlin get down in front of me through the center of 3 and 4. That's what teammates are made for, so I might as well be a good teammate while we're at it as we get right in behind the 11 of Denny Hamlin here as we go down this front stretch, getting glued to the back of him, making him a draft partner now as we go to the inside, but Hamlin decides he's not going to stay on the inside, so instead of us staying behind him and helping him, we actually move right on past the 11 of Hamlin. Then down the back straightaway now in lap 4 of stage 2, we have the help from Quinn Half, and for some reason Gregson, he goes all the way to the top, and I'm just going to use the help from behind from Half and move our way now into the lead here in the Geico 500 at Talladega Superspeedway. Last time we came to this racetrack, we led some laps and we had a wild finish in that race, and unfortunately we were not able to pull off the victory, but hopefully today, now with signs of this car showing some true speed, we might be able to pull off a victory here today in Talladega. But we come through now to lap 5 of the second stage, continuing to lead. But Bubba Wallace, Eric Almirola were leading that second and third lane to get to the outside of me. And Bubba is going to clear me nearly through 3, but I have enough help from the 00 of Quinn Half right behind us to actually get back to the lead. It was all about that second car in line for me because the other drivers in the second and third lane could get huge runs. But if I had enough help from behind, I would be in good shape to hold on. Now as Ryan Blaney's coming through to the back of us, I decided to stay on the bottom because that's just the safest way to be here at a plate race when you are leading. So I I am now relying on the 9 of Chase Elliott to be able to push me back ahead of Ryan Blaney once he's able to carry that momentum to put his nose in front of mine, because the driver second in line will not even go near your front or back bumper unless the other driver is ahead of you. Now, as we come through the tri-oval, unfortunately, we get cleared by Ryan Blaney now, as we're going to have to fight back, but it was actually a really easy fight. We come through to 6 laps to go in stage 2, immediately to the back, or to the inside of Ryan Blaney here as we come through the center of 1 and 2, and the 9 of Elliott and that Hendrick Motorsports Camaro is just going to push us right on by the 12, but he fights back on the outside on the exit of turn 2 as we have a spinner behind, while Chastain in the middle of the field has gone crashing, now collecting multiple cars there, but him alone just goes spinning as everyone else is able to keep it straight. Now, as the caution comes out, and we are actually just in front of Ryan Blaney at the time of the caution. So some mixed strategy in the field. Once again, I decided to stay out because I want a playoff point here in Talladega to add on to the playoff points that we've already built up over the course of this regular season. So it's going to be 3 laps to go here in stage 2, and we have help from behind from now the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. So it's always nice to have a Joe Gibbs Racing teammate right behind you. And as you guys know, of course, I've mentioned this multiple times this season, we will not be returning to the 20 car next season in our career mode. So we're just doing whatever we can, but we still want to be a teammate while we can. But Truex had a terrible restart. He was now on the outside all of a sudden, as Brendan Gaughan is actually going to try and make a move to my outside as we go down this back straightaway. Then the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek trying to look to my inside, but fortunately I was able to cover him off and hold on to this front position there, as Brendan Gaughan was trying to make that second lane work, but just couldn't quite make it happen here as we came through the center of now turns 3 and 4. So John Hunter just trying to stick with me here as we come through out of the corner, but you can see right behind us at this point, absolutely no momentum building in any lane. But now Truex is starting to build up a run, and we have a huge gap to the back of second place of John Hunter Nemechek, and sure enough, they build up a huge run out of the tri-oval. 2 laps to go now in the stage, and there you see John Hunter got to the back of us, but we covered it off without an issue. And as we go down this back straightaway now with a lap and a half to go in the second stage, Ryan Newman has a huge run to the outside, nearly going to be able to pass me, but we have the help from John Hunter, who's going to push me back towards the front, as Newman just announced in the last episode he will be retiring from the career mode now. As we come through down this front straightaway, Newman has help from the 51 of Joey Gase here, so hopefully myself and John Hunter can find ourselves out in front of that duo. And sure enough, he nearly pushes us out clear of Newman, but he actually backs off my bumper as we come through to start the final lap of the second stage. And then Gase leaves Newman hanging and is going to try to get to my outside through 1 and 2, but we clear him there as he seems to maybe be getting a side draft from the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek. So we continue leading on the exit of turn 2, but now the 51 is a huge run down this back straightaway. I need help immediately from John Hunter, and he's not going to give us that help, so the 51 just blows right on by me, and Nemechek still, for some reason, does not actually become a draft partner. So we come through turn 3 and 4 for the final time, and we have completely blown away a stage victory. I tried side drafting the 51, and unfortunately, that just did not quite work here. So we go down this front straightaway. One last chance to maybe make a move for a stage victory here as we dive down into the tri-oval for the final time in stage 2. Newman in third, ready to pounce, but he's not close enough. We look to the inside of Gase, but he wins stage 2, and unfortunately we stayed out at the end of that caution to get a playoff point with a stage victory, and we did not get that because we just completely blew away a stage victory, unfortunately, here in Talladega. So no playoff point for us, but we would come to the pit lane for 2 cans of fuel as well as 4 tires, and once again get ready to go green as we expect to maybe give up some positions, but no, we actually maintain second place here for the start of the 3rd and final stage. Sorry boys, I tried to side draft him, but it just wasn't enough. So there you heard my radio transmission to the team just apologizing, saying, you know, it wasn't enough. I tried to side draft the 51 of Gase, and it just wasn't enough. Like I said, now as they'll get underway for the start of this 3rd and final stage. Joey Gase leads the way, but we have a pretty decent launch here. We might be able to get right on that right side of Gase, but I decided to be a little bit cautious here on him, as it was still a little bit too early to be aggressively side drafting as we came through turn 1 and 2. So now we got John Hunter Nemechek once again right behind me, and for some reason just he doesn't want to be a draft partner, it seems like, now after he was a draft partner earlier towards the end of that second stage here, as we have Chase Elliott 3rd in line on that bottom. Now the 38 actually will become a draft partner, so maybe I was just a little bit too concerned as we came through 3 and 4. Gase still leading. I'm trying to get to that right hand side of him as you see Alex Bowman all the way up in that 3rd lane behind us now as we exit turn 4 side by side there with Ryan Newman in that Roush Fainaway car as we come through fighting to the outside now of Gase. So a very good push from the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek now, as I'm not sure if he's still going to be in that 38 car in the career mode next season, but we'll have to wait and see to see if he maybe moves around maybe to a brand new team coming into the sport. We don't know yet now as it comes through turns 1 and 2, and it's just not working at this point. Myself and John Hunter now starting to fade as we exit turn 2. Chase Elliott's actually going to be able to pass me as well, as Gase kind of moves up to that second lane, leaving the door open for Newman, who unfortunately could not pounce on that opportunity there, as we have the 21 of Matt DiBenedetto now leading that third lane behind us, and then Gase moves down, Newman moves all the way up to the outside wall, and leaves the door open for us to just drive right on by. For some reason, I'm not sure why he did that, it was a very weird call, and it worked out perfectly for us, of course, because now we gain a position out of it, as Joey Logano is able to get to my outside, or inside as well. Then Eric Jones was able to follow through on the inside. Then we had the 95 of Christopher Bell get into the mixer as they kind of pushed us way up the track. And now we were forced 3 wide by Chad Fincham. So myself and John Hunter Nemechek is just not working. So I decided to drop down in front of DiBenedetto and see if we can make that work. But we have a huge run on the back of the 22 of Logano. I take it to the outside to see if we can get clear into 3. And the run completely stalls out on the entrance of the corner. So now we got to get back down in line as quick as possible. Fortunately, there was a hole between Logano as well as DiBenedetto. And we make it work now. Came through 3 wide in the middle now on lap 36. We now have Bubba Wallace up my inside, Chase Elliott on the outside with help from that 51 of Joey Gase. As you see up ahead, we got the 95 and the 88 of Bell, and Eric Jones battling it out for the front position here as we would continue on this run towards just kind of through the middle. Eric Jones actually falls from battling for the lead all the way behind us now as we come through turns 1 and 2 with now just 11 laps to go here in Talladega Superspeedway in the Geico 500 as we're right on the back of that 22 of Logano. Bubba Wallace now up into third, and now he would come through to move up into second place as they were going 3 wide in front of us. I decided to go with Logano instead of my teammate because I saw a lot more potential there, and then that potential completely gets destroyed on the exit of the corner. But we have a lot of help from behind from that 9 of Chase Elliott, who was just glued to my back bumper that whole time, it felt like, here as we come through the triangle 3 wide with Logano and Briscoe, who's kind of fought his way back forwards. He started up in that top 3 earlier in this race with Kyle Busch on pole, and now towards the final 10 laps of this race, Briscoe has found himself back in the mix here as we have still help from that 9 of Chase Elliott, but I would end up actually leaving him and then getting it back in behind that 22 of Joey Logano here, as I just could not get to the bottom at this point in the race, looking for an opportunity to maybe get down there if I could, but it just wasn't opening up. So I have to settle here on the outside, continuing to push the 22 of Logano, and my reputation with Logano isn't high enough to be a draft partner, but with 8 laps to go, you see it there on your screen, the caution comes out, and this is going to force everybody to the pit lane to make sure we are all safe to make it on field. So this is going to force maybe a 5-lap dash or a 6-lap dash here in Talladega now, as we're going to come in to put half a can of fuel in. I was debating what to do with the tires, but I actually decide to go with absolutely no tires at all, and we're going to come in here in P10 to the pit lane. As you see the running order on your screen, Ross Chastain currently the only driver to DNF, and we gained 6 spots there, so maybe the AI took 2 tires, but tires are not important at Talladega at this point in the race. So we're now P4 behind Bubba Wallace and Chad Fincham, who leads the way looking for his second career win in the Cup Series now after winning the Daytona 500 last season in the career mode. And up the inside we got Chase Briscoe as we're back underway. It is now 5 laps to go here in the Geico 500 at Talladega Superspeedways. We would love to see the 23 of Bubba Wallace, one of our affiliate teammates, get to victory lane. We have quite a few affiliate teammates, but I've been forced 3 wide actually by Chase Briscoe in that 14. I try to get back down because he jumps back down, but unfortunately when I went to do that, Truex was already filling up that gap, so now we're stuck on the outside there as we came through down this back straightaway. So now looking for an opportunity immediately to get down, and sure enough, that opportunity opens up, and we're right back in front of the 62 now of Brendan Gaughan. So it wasn't a lost cause. There was definitely some cause for concern there. I thought we were doomed as soon as I got forced 3 wide, but fortunately it works out now as we're approaching 4 laps to go here in Talladega, closing in on the back of the 37 of Ryan Preece. We've been really not on the bottom very much in this race now, as we're going to try and look to the outside of the 37, but he's going to be able to stay ahead of us, but we're to the inside of our teammate of Martin Truex Jr. Still 3 wide in the middle though, between Truex as well as the 17 of Chris Buescher, and the run kind of fades out there because I do not have a whole lot of drafting help in front of me, but the very front of the pack looks very weird and kind of unorganized at this portion of the race here as we go down this backstretch. Tyler Reddick to my inside, right to the back of the 38 of John Hunter Nemechek there, as I got into the back of him quite significantly as he checked up now as we would come through down the front straightaway, getting him sideways through the trial pole. He hangs on to it there as we got into the back of him again, as you saw. We clear him now down the front stretch. 3 laps to go in Talladega. We came through now out of turn 2 to the inside of Christopher Bell, who kind of got hung out, and now we're going to pass him, and then there's a bit of side drafting going on from the 2 car to us, and then the caution comes out with 3 laps to go, and this will force overtime again for the second race in a row here, as we're going to get ready to go green from P13 in Talladega. So certainly a bit unexpected to see such a quick caution there after that most recent one with only 8 laps to go in the race. Nobody has to come into the pit lane, of course, and there you see it is still Ross Chastain, the only driver that has DNF, but Ryan Newman is now down in P39, so that might indicate that he was the reason for the caution. I'm not 100% sure because I couldn't find the last 2 caution reasonings in the replay mode, but either way, we're ready to go green for overtime here in Talladega Superspeedway in the Geico 500. Chad Fincham looking for his 2nd career win in the Cup Series. The leads away at the start of OT, and now we come through P13. Obviously, we're not necessarily in a position to win this race, but we can still continue our top 10 streak. We finished in the top 10 every race this season so far, and we look to continue that here with another top 10 finish as we come through 1 and 2 up the inside of De Benedetto. They're already going 3 by 3 by 3 here in this opening restart now as we go down this backstretch. Daniel Suarez up in the mix to potentially get his first ever Cup Series victory now as we come through to the inside of the 66 of Timmy Hill, but he clears us with help down the back straightaway into turn 3, so we have to settle in right behind him here as we come through the center of the corner now as Chad Fincham looks to be maybe looking to the outside lane as we come through out of turn 4, and sure enough, Fincham moves into the second lane here as we go down, trying to get aggressive to the inside again of Timmy Hill through the trial, trying to just make it work and get into that top 10. We are now actually up into P9 as we come through to start the final lap in Talladega Superspeedway. Chase Briscoe now to the lead here as he had a chance to take the win away from myself in the last episode in Richmond for his first ever win, but we were able to hold him off in that overtime restart there. But now we are the ones chasing Briscoe, and obviously we're not in a position like we were in Richmond to be able to make a pass on him, but he leads the way down the back straightaway here for the final lap in Talladega now as we look to the inside nearly of David Reagan. He holds us off here as Bubba Wallace is up here now up inside the top 10, so a great run for Bubba now as Suarez goes all the way up to the outside. Well, we have a huge run through 3 and 4 now up inside the top 5 as we come through out of turn 4 to the inside now of Fincham right to the back of the 34 of Michael McDowell, now up into 3rd place as I look to the outside of that 34 car, now trying to get to the inside of him as Briscoe covers the 34 very well through the tri-oval. Chase Briscoe, a rookie, will come through to win in Talladega. We come through to cross the line in 3rd place as McDowell did an exceptional job right there holding us off for that 2nd position. So P3 here in Talladega, and in the last 3 races that is actually our worst finish. So incredible to say out of the last 3 races, our worst finish is 3rd. But great race for us overall at the end. Chase Briscoe with the victory is now a rookie winner. So we've had 2 seasons in a row where a rookie has gone to victory lane. Myself last season, and now Chase Briscoe this season is going to do a post-race interview now with Jay Cook.
10 consecutive top 10s to start the season, Gary. With a solid day in Talladega, you now have a comfortable points lead. What's the strategy for the rest of the regular season?
Just be aggressive as possible, to be honest with you, Jay, and we tried taking some risks today in Talladega with just kind of changing up, not running the bottom the whole time. Unfortunately, it didn't quite work for the most part, but we still were able to get P3 out of it. Honestly, we came through to the overtime restart. I didn't really expect to be anywhere near the top 5. I was just trying to get that top 10, but we managed to get 3rd out of it. Very happy with that, and we're just continuing this momentum, which I'm very happy to see, and hopefully we can carry that into Dover. Alright, there you have the post-race interview there with Jay Cook, and as always, if you guys enjoyed this episode, you do know what to do. And in the next one, we go to a track, one of my favorite tracks on the NASCAR schedule, actually, Dover. Very excited for that one, and hopefully we can have a solid run. We go there in the Truck Series, as well as, I believe, the Xfinity Series and the Cup Series. So 3 races there. Should definitely be a lot of fun. One of the better tracks to drive, or one of the more fun tracks to drive, I should say. Now, as we lead the playoff grid as well as the regular season standings, Briscoe now locked into the playoffs. Very fortunate for him. Happy to see Briscoe having success here in the career mode in his rookie season. As you see, Byron, Larson, Newman, Reddick, and Busch are currently the 5 drivers on the outside looking in that are closest to on point. So that will do it for this episode. Thank you all for taking the time out of your day to watch, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Have a great day, everybody.